Yo, my name is AEMS. I'm an MC, most well known for drum and bass and dubstep in Newcastle upon Tyne. Dabble in a bit of hip hop. Used to do a bit of graffiti, things like that. But yeah, welcome to the interview. Original People Evolve.
We want to see you go absolutely mental drum and bass style.
What inspired me to become an MC? Well, don't know. When I was really little, this high, when I was really little, in school we had an excellent music teacher who, as one of our lessons, I must have been about 11 or 12 years old, one of our lessons was to write a rap song. So we as a group wrote a rap song. I mean, obviously it wasn't very good, but at the time, I loved it. It was a great lesson. She was an excellent teacher. She loved the Prodigy, Michael Jackson. We would take in our own music and she'd analyse it and play it back to us and take it to pieces and show us what parts were made how, and that was really good. And at the age of 11 or 12 to find out that a Warren G record was sampled from an old soul record and how the drums were made and things. She went through all of that with us, and she sort of encouraged us to listen to different styles of music, and she would play the riffs off old Prodigy records and things. And basically, one of our projects was to write a rap record. From that moment on, I always sort of dabbled with writing lyrics and writing bars and stuff. And then as I got a bit older, I got into dance music and got into old school rave and house and trance and stuff like that, and just kind of left it behind for a bit. I don't know if anybody knows about the Newcastle sort of scene, Newcastle music scene, but there's a big like hardcore, happy hardcore gabba kind of scene up here, and as a kid I kind of got drawn into that a little bit. I liked the sort of the speed and ferocity of it, and there was MCs all over it, and I kind of dabbled a bit, but you know, it wasn't really, I always preferred the slightly slower tempo stuff. And then I got into drum and bass through LTJ Bookham Horizons and various other little bits and pieces that I just sort of picked up along the way. DJ Crust, Warhead, early Ronnie Size stuff, and I ended up at a drum and bass rave, and they had MCs, and I was like, wow, this is something different. It's like hardcore, but it's more up my street really. Anyway, still carried on with the DJing and mucking about with like decks and stuff like that, and a friend of mine showed me some UK hip hop, and I was like, wow, I always loved hip hop. And he was writing his own bars and trying to be a rapper and trying to perform and stuff like that, and he needed a hype man. I was well more into sort of producing the beats and DJing and that, so I kind of stepped up to be his hype man at a couple of shows, and he was like, you should write some bars, like the bars, I've heard bars that you've written, you should write some bars. So I wrote a couple of verses, and things just progressed from there. We ended up doing quite a lot together and pushing a night called Speakeasy, and then I got the opportunity to host a dubstep night. It was the first dubstep event up here. It was called Dubstep News, like a precursor to Heavyweight. I ended up hosting dubstep shows. Basically got asked to do it, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that kind of thing, and kind of fell into the whole MCing thing more than pursued it. And yeah, smashed the dubstep shows up here, sort of hosted everything up here for a number of years, and then got asked to do Turbulence, which was the drum and bass night that I loved from being younger. I finally got to host it and MC at it myself, which was, you know, an honour kind of thing. Yeah, and that's just been like that ever since. Nowadays I get a lot more bookings for MCing than I do for DJing. So, like I say, my focus has shifted from the music side of things. I still produce and muck about with decks and stuff, but yeah, my focus shifted from the music more to the MC kind of thing. And I love it. I love doing it. I love going on the stage and getting the crowd hyper and rowdy, and being in the studio writing bars and putting down tracks and stuff. It's been a while since I've done any hip hop, but I'm trying to get back into that, trying to get more hip hop beats, more hip hop influenced stuff, kind of crossover between dubstep and hip hop, because that's where I kind of started. So I'd like to get back into that more. Don't get me wrong, absolutely love the drum and bass nights and the dubstep nights. Nothing like stepping onto a stage in front of 1,000, 2,000 people and making the crowd go wild. When I was like 15, 16, I never thought I'd be MCing for the likes of Hype and like just all the DJs that I have done. And like the dubstep stuff was again amazing. Like done some of my best shows have been like Benga and Scream and Roscoe and MCing for those boys, and I love doing all of that. Shy FX as well, MCing with Shy FX, back to back with X-Man, all this kind of thing. Like I never thought when I was young that I'd be doing all this. So it's kind of, every time I do it, it reminds me why I do it and how lucky I am to do it. I love it, absolutely love it. So that, all of that combined really inspired me into being an MC. Like I say, I kind of fell into it, but I do love it and put a lot of effort into it these days. And I like seeing young MCs coming up. I do a lot of work with a local body called Generator, trying to push local MCs and local rappers into working with them and getting them some guidance in how they do, because I love meeting new MCs and working with other MCs and producers, and it's done me a lot. It's done me a lot of good. I love it, and I'd advise anyone that's vaguely interested in rapping or MCing to give it a shot. I mean, if you're not really into it, then you know, have some fun with it. But if you're really into it, push. You get out what you put in. That's what I was always told anyway. Right. How did I get my name? Well, when I was a kid, like 16, 17, we used to dabble in graffiti and sort of have tags and that, and being like a crew when we were at school. And with my name being James, I decided to drop the J and start writing AEMS. Then after a little while of writing that, one of the older writers pulled me to one side and told me, you're not allowed to write that. Apparently there'd been a writer before who was quite decent, and he used to write AMES. So I decided to swap the E and the M around and came up with AEMS. And it stuck, basically. Wrote that for a little bit and then kind of fell out of graffiti, but kept the name. I mean, I know lots of artists do that, but people call me that. That's just my name now. People call me AEMS everywhere I go. It's very rare that anyone actually uses the name James. So that's kind of the short and sweet version of how I got my name. I still use it. I don't do graffiti anymore. I haven't done graffiti in a long time. But yeah, AEMS. I've been very lucky over the last sort of 9-10 years throughout my career. Done shows all over the country, performed with a lot of great DJs and MCs, some massive names who've gone on to be even bigger. I think the one bands where I'd be happy, that I'd be like, that would be the pinnacle, would be doing something with the Prodigy. It'd be amazing to open up for the Prodigy, or even with the Prodigy. I mean, I've MC'd for Roscoe, Scream, Benga, and warmed up for Andy C, performed with De La Soul. I've done lots and lots of amazing gigs, far too many for me to list off without sounding like a bit of a dick. But yeah, the Prodigy would make it. That's one band that I liked from the age of like 13, probably before that, when Experience came out. And then Jilted Generation, those two albums, I still listen to them massively to this day, and I'd love to do a show with the Prodigy. Apart from that, like I say, I've pretty much MC'd for most of my favourite DJs ever. Last year I got to MC for Ed Rush. That was something I really wanted to do, and finally got to MC for Ed Rush over a classic Virus Hulk set. I'm yet to do a show with Brocky. So many DJs and MCs that I've already MC'd for. I got to support De La Soul. That was an amazing experience. Just so many DJs and MCs that I've worked with already. Prodigy would be the ones to top it all, I think. Once I've MC'd with or before the Prodigy and supported them on a show, I think that would be it. That would be me. That would be me happy.
On the stage with a mic and I'm raging, beat and bassline, back to basics, Spider-Man bars, collapse and I'm straight in. So many syllables, I crash the matrix. So drunk, glass gets dashed away quick. Still I'm on point, got flash with razors. MCs these days, their raps are tainted, we're leaving them shook like Woodward's baby. Rick and Ames on a track, crazy save me, it's about to go off. Whole place vibrates, sine waves, iris dilates, everybody's lost the plot. Trust me, nobody hypes like we do. Run up on the bar like give me a tequila. Kick off a set like I'm Kenny with a